Well, the Gremlin has made it to the Chevy farm, the master's Gremlin. I showed in a previous video where we installed the engine, and he's having problems with the headers fitting. The reason he's having the headers not wanting to fit right is because these aluminum heads on it. This had a big block in it before, but it had factory cast iron heads on it, and the aluminum heads raised the runners up, I think like 0.4 or something like that, not quite half an inch. But that caused the steering column on this side to hit the headers. Guess I better shine a little light on it, maybe you can see it a little better. Anyways, there's the steering box. This is an aftermarket U-joint we decided to put on to get some more clearance. Here's the factory rag joint that's on there. And then the shaft ran up to the steering column up through here. It was hitting right against it. We got the headers in by taking the column out and the shaft out, and we're modifying all this to make it work. But the plan is to take, I don't think it's that one, I think it might be this one. Yeah, it's with the G shaft, but install that on the end of the column and then run the double D shaft down to this U joint down in here, kind of like that. You can get a little more clearance. We ain't got it totally figured out yet, but before, like I say, it was like right against it. I might maybe have to trim here and get a little extra clearance. But that on the opposite side over here is basically the only place it's rubbing. Real close, got maybe might modify it down in there. See it down in there, but you can see she's pretty close. She's real close down in there. The only other problem we're having is back here on the firewall. It's real close too. Plans are maybe trim this over a little bit. Get maybe 1/4 of an inch clearance back in there. And that side should be done. Thought about moving the pipes in, which they have already been moved in this way. But then you're going to get where the boot's the close to the pipe, it's going to start melting it, which is real close now. So that's not a good idea. Anyways, once that's figured out, then it's back to putting this tunnel ram on and getting everything else back in here. Which really shouldn't amount to too much because it was already in here before with the other engine in it. Hopefully I'll have some more on this coming up pretty soon. And hopefully we can take it to the drag strip, but it's getting towards the end of the season and I don't know if it'll be ready. I think there's maybe 4 or 5 races left. Maybe 5 counting this Friday, but it ain't gonna be ready by this Friday. So I guess that's where we're at on the Gremlin. And I don't think these little 26-inch 10 slicks are gonna be enough for that engine. Right, Grammy? Little Gremlin dude. Thought he had a different cap. Thought he had a locking gas cap on it. Maybe he ain't stuck it on yet. Anyways, this car, for a Gremlin, has a few options on it that some of them don't have. He does have a locking gas cap for it. It has this little wind deflector on it. And it has these little lights on top of the fenders. And what it was back in the day. He had quite a few of these cars, I guess, and he kind of kept all the options that some of them had on it that the car originally didn't have. As you can see, the steering column's gone. It does have a roll cage in it. Actual halo hoop go down to the floor. And that's another option it has. It has a factory tachometer in it. It says Gremlin X over there, but I don't know if it's an X or not. As I say, I'm not an expert on Gremlins, but I believe it's a 71 is what year it is. Anyways, I gotta get back to doing some other stuff. I think he was waiting on some parts or paint or something because he's wanting to modify that. Probably want to put some paint back over it so it actually looks white. I think the car originally was yellow. At least the main part of the car. I know some of these other parts are different colored. One of these fenders might have been blue or something. But yeah, I've been getting further on the Gremlin. Got the engine back in it for good this time. We actually have some header clearance. I'll get that light out of there and show you, but there's the steering shaft after it's been painted, and he also got his firewall painted too, so I'll grab the light and show you that here. Alrighty, I got the light, and I'll show you the header clearance down in here where he's having the problem. This is the firewall right there. Get that damn wire out of the way. Right down in there. Now I have plenty of clearance. You kind of move the firewall back over to where it's straight. Before it kind of bowed in anyways, but now it looks straighter, and you kind of do a little work back up in behind there. Got rid of those little ding-dong ting-tongs that were in it. This side's good, got clearance down there. Got the driver's side on. Bolted on. Really, the only clearance problem we had on this side was the steering shaft, but it's good. I think he might have ground on that just a hair, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but no, it don't look like he did anything there. So he's getting ready to put the steering column back in, and he disappeared. So pretty much that's all that's left. I think they went to go grab the exhaust and try the exhaust underneath, because the headers are in just a little bit different position than they were before. There's the column, it's ready to go back in. Once that's in, put the shaft on. I did have to modify the plate too, because he slid the column over just a hair. And what I mean by slid the column over is where it come out the bottom down here, where it stuck out the firewall there. Slid over that way just a little bit to get a little more clearance for these knuckles in the header, because before it was hitting right against it. He should have plenty of clearance now. I don't know what his plans are, if we're going to get it running here, or he's going to take it back to his place, or what's going on, but I'll try to show all that. He's still got to put his tunnel ram on. Right now it's just got a single 4-barrel intake on it, which was on it when he broke it in probably, what, a year or two ago. Hopefully there's not too many more foreseeable problems, because all that tunnel ram setup was on it before. Still needs to paint his valve covers, or polish them, or blast them, or whatever he thinks he's doing. Other than that, the Gremlin will be running here soon. Hopefully. Well, I got a little further on the Gremlin. Got the intake bolted on. Valve cover on. some pulleys on and some other stuff, but need to do the radiator. He's hooking up a bunch of stuff and hoping to get this thing running here sometime. Because this needs to go out the door. I need to bring mass 10 in. Start swapping heads. Hopefully, maybe, we can go for a ride in this. The master wants to do for a little test run. I don't think he's going to be going to the drag strip. But who knows? They say it's getting towards the end of the year, and I don't know if the track's going to be open that much longer. Being it's getting colder, they like to cancel when it gets a little chilly out, but that's when I like to go racing. Get that nice cool air, gives you some free power. Not sure what was going on over here. The valve cover's not completely on yet, but anyways, at least the intake's on. Still got the distributor to do too. It's not gonna pitter putt with no distributor. Looks like somebody was writing on his car too. Well, I managed to get a little further on the Gremlin. Got the radiator in. Turn this light on, make it see a little bit better. Or produce some glare, but radiator's in. Fans on. Alternator belt. All those little tedious things. Nice plug, fuel lines hooked back up. Get the coil on, plug wires on. Looks like it's ready to run. Yeah, what he did back here. Yeah, you got the deal on the valve cover. Anything you need a cap for that. Got a breather on, there's his nitrous line. Guess the distributor's in back there. Looks like everything's hooked up. I don't think he tried to run it because I checked it. There's no antifreeze in it, so. One thing I did notice is the hose is too short now because he switched radiators. Apparently the deal used to be on this side instead of that side. Now he needs a longer hose. Probably ain't enough down in there to stretch it. What else? I don't think I showed you the steering column shaft after he finished it. There's the steering column shaft. Runs right down to the steering box. So that's all figured out. From looking at it, just needs to dump antifreeze in it. Should be full of oil. As far as I know. We put some gas in it the other night, or last night I should say. I couldn't remember if it had any fuel in it after it's been sitting for God who knows how many years. Finally made this damn thing be running and moving. When we get to where we're going to start it off, I'll show you guys that. It'll be the first start of the 496 in the Gremlin. If anything, it looks cool, I guess. I got that 70s or 80s vibe going on. I like it.